All right, guys, I am back with a brand new DC update, and this update is going to be Warner Brothers Discovery heavy. Tomorrow, I will be back with a video on why I think, just maybe, behind the scenes something is happening, and the fact that DCU Arkham Asylum show got shelved, and which could mean very good things for the future. And I'll talk about that in a video tomorrow. But today, I want to talk about what's happening with Warner Brothers Discovery, because it was announced here about 3 days ago that Warner Brothers does have the potential for a hostile takeover because of their stocks. And we're going to take a look at this article, and we're going to talk about something else that happened that's tied to kind of Warner Brothers Discovery and what this person talks about in their article. But let's take a look at what I've grabbed. So here we go. Warner Brothers Discovery approaching my buy price target, rating upgrade. So, in today's episode of what's going to happen with Warner Brothers, are we going to buy or are we going to sell? Let's find out. All right, so in a summary, Paul Franke says Warner Brothers Discovery shares have dropped from $10 in February to $7 currently, making it slightly more attractive as a takeover candidate and investment with long-term compounding potential. A bundling deal with global entertainment streamer number 2 Disney and the potential to partner with Paramount's assets, which is no longer going to happen, and we're going to look at why here in a minute, could transform the industry and not knock Netflix from its number 1 position. So we're going to see what this bundling deal is with Disney, and then we're going to see what happened with Paramount today, but I don't think it's going to take Netflix out of its number 1 position. This person said, I am raising my outlook to hold on the price on stocks, if you own it, as the price approaches my $5 target, with the potential for a large turnaround on lower interest rates. Before I look at the rest of this article, we're going to go see what happened with Paramount today. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but Paramount Plus, or Paramount, and Pluto TV have kind of been together since October of this last year. And it says a new streaming company is coming in hot. Paramount and Skydance have officially merged. Here's what that means for Paramount Plus. Paramount Global looks to have finally closed in on a buyer, and out of the long list of suitors that it has attracted in the past 6 months, it's Skydance Media that's agreed to merge with the iconic Hollywood company. The two companies announced the deal on Sunday night, with the chair of Paramount and its holding company National Amusements, Sherry Redstone, declaring that content would remain king under the new business in a statement. Redstone will pass the executive leadership torch for the current cohort of co-CEOs to David Ellison, who will take the reins as the newly formed Paramount. The former actor turned Hollywood producer is known in the industry for being a bit of a daredevil, so it would be exciting to see what he has in store. After all, the two companies aren't strangers to each other, having worked together on producing movies like the action blockbuster Top Gun Maverick and sci-fi favorite Star Trek Into Darkness. It says talks about a potential Paramount Global and Skydance media merger have been ongoing since last year, but Skydance wasn't always the most likely candidate. Negotiations for potential Paramax Plus have fallen through in February, only to be picked up again by Peacock, which was later joined by Sony in April. So there were plenty of contenders in the race. In fact, when the Wall Street Journal originally broke the story last week that a potential deal between Paramount and Skydance was back on the table, potential bidders like Warner Brothers Discovery and Comcast NBC Universal started circling again due to a 45-day cooling period that allowed others to still make offers. Now, what's pretty crazy about this is, this company has John Lasseter, which is pretty crazy. I believe he was let go from Disney, which is crazy because he's now over there with Paramount Animation since they're joining with Skydance. This could create some blockbuster animated movies for this company. And it's pretty crazy that this company now, Paramount with Skydance, could come out very, very, very strong, which doesn't bode well for Warner Brothers Discovery. Nobody actually wants the company. And, they had a chance to go up there with, NBC Universal, which never happened. There's all these things that could have happened, and it didn't. And so things are bad. Let's go back over to this Warner Brothers Discovery article. So this person goes on to say, Warner Brothers Discovery is a stock I have suggested readers avoid until far lower quotes appear. My last article in February here explained a rating downgrade to sell on slowing economic signals and weaker technical trading momentum, with Warner Brothers Discovery priced around $10 per share. Following along the path I laid out in February, the stock quote has slipped from $10 to roughly $7 in a recent trading session. It lost 30% of its value since February. My bearish long-term view of $40 billion in net debt, total debt minus cash, hasn't really changed. Yet the lower share pricing goes, the more interesting it becomes as a takeover merger candidate with another media giant and unique investment asset with solid compounding potential if and when interest rates retreat into 2025. Interest rates are probably going to have to retreat into 2025 because what they talk about later on in this article, the economy is not looking good. It's very possible that we're going to have a massive recession coming up. And the last 4 years have really hurt the U.S. You're going to hear all over the world that our economy is doing great, but it's not. People have depleted their savings on gas and food. They've essentially wiped out the middle class. That's part of the reason why people are not going to the movies. When it comes to families and discretionary funds, if I've got to feed my family or go to the movies, you're going to feed your family and not go to the movies, which means there's less money for entertainment, which could make the stocks go even lower. And they're saying if you wait and the stocks go down to $5, that's when it's maybe time to buy. So if you have Warner Brothers stock right now, they're saying hold off, wait until it gets down to a very low rate around $5 and then start buying again. It's pretty crazy what's going on with Warner Brothers Discovery at this stage. They just don't have the money. They have a mountain of debt. And it says here, unfortunately for Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders, too much debt and slow sales growth do not mix well historically. It's the main reason for share pricing has been under pressure over the last year. For a bit of good news, nearly all debt at the end of 2023 was financed at fixed rates in the 4% to 5% range, with maturities beyond 5 years, so there is no immediate risk of bankruptcy, assuming cash flows remain steady. That's if it remains steady. If there's a recession, all bets are off the table. If the company commits all of its free cash flow to debt reduction, interest expenses will likely slide lower next year after year, with other variables remaining the same. So this is some pretty crazy stuff. They have not bottomed out yet, guys. They do expect that their shares could hit $5 later in 2024. So what we have here is the possibility of Warner Brothers Discovery being sold. And I made a statement this year that I do believe it's going to be sold. I don't know when. Now, there are some people who watch my videos who like to take screenshots, and this is the crazy thing about social media is they save everything. And somebody had asked me at one point, do I really think that Warner Brothers is going to be sold? And I said, absolutely 100%. Now, what I didn't notice when I posted on that person's thing is that they said by something like April or May or something of that year. I didn't see when they said it would happen. I just saw that they were asking, do I think they're going to be sold or they're going to sell? And I still think that is going to happen. In fact, there's been the fire sale with Warner Brothers Discovery and some of their music catalog. They were even trying to offload some of their movie catalogs as well. It's just they're trying everything they can to throw money at this debt, and they have no long-term plan with investors to get them out of debt, just to hold the line. That's all they have at this stage is to hold the line. And if the economy gets any worse, somebody's going to come in and take them over. And it still may happen if they find the right bidder. And, it could very well be Universal. You just don't know. Or even Netflix. Netflix could come in and snatch them up. Like I said, you're going to want to stick around for my video tomorrow when I tell people what I think may be happening with Warner Brothers behind the scenes. All right, guys, I do appreciate all the support. You guys have been tremendously you've been all over my channel for the last couple of weeks. I really appreciate all of the support. It's been a record couple of weeks. I just cannot tell you guys how I am grateful for everybody who has stuck with me on this journey. I've got a lot I'm going to be talking about in regards to Warner Brothers going forward. So if you are not subscribed, you're going to want to subscribe to my channel. 75% or more of the people who watch my videos are not even subs. And so with the subs that I have, if you guys like my content, please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I have new videos go out. It's just going to help me to create more content in the future. I do appreciate all the support. I really do. We will see you guys on the next video.